Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Netvini and this time we are going to create a glossary in Moodle. So let's see how to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. So first go to the Introduction to Basic Sciences page and then scroll down. So you will see my newest entry to this week. And you will see a PDF called as Glossary for Basic Sciences subject. You have to click on that, which will direct you to a page where you can download the PDF document, which I'm not going to do because I prepared it and I have a copy of that in my computer. Let me open it up and show you how this PDF appears. So it says the Glossary for Basic Science subject, and make sure that you read carefully the terms of use, because you are not supposed to copy these terms and modify it or publish it anywhere without getting my permission. And under preface, it's worth reading as well, because I have described what is special, the special things related to this glossary. The one thing I have to notice here or tell you is I have used only the British English in this document. If you don't know the difference between British English and American English, you can go to Google and see. For the time being, in British English we use additional A with certain scientific terms, like for example for inanemia, under British English we spell it as ANAEMIA, but in American English it will be ANEMIA without A. So you will find some differences when you read the reference book. But I want you to adhere to one type and prefer if you can adhere to the British English. And for your convenience, I have categorized these scientific terms under different course modules and under different lecture topics. But you will hear all these terms under different subjects. Don't think that there's a hard and fast demarcation between these scientific terms. Let me show you the first one. So this is the first topic, that is Introduction to Lectures. So the scientific terms that you might hear under introductory lecture, I have categorized into three subjects: anatomy, physiology and pathology. So it doesn't mean that you are not going to hear anatomy scientific terms under physiology. You will hear those terms under different subjects. For example, I'll be using pathological terms under physiology as well, because I'm doing physiology, and anatomy lecturers might use physiological scientific terms as well. And the demarcation, like the categorization, also not exact, like the scientific terms in the introductory lectures you will hear under other lecture topics as well. And also you won't hear everything listed here in your lectures, so be mindful and use it in a meaningful way. The purpose of categorizing it as under different lecture topics is suppose you are going to have body fluid lecture tomorrow, so you can go to the glossary and click on that body fluid category and you will get the nice list of scientific terms that you are going to hear in the lecture and the meaning of those terms. And it's important to have a glossary, because when it comes to the exam, I'm sure you are going to go through your lecture notes 1 week before, like maximum 2-3 days before. Then you will see a lot of terms that you don't understand. In that case, you can just go to the Moodle and click on the glossary and find the meanings. And another thing I want you to highlight, that the scientific terms related to basic biochemistry is at the end of the document. So that's everything about this document. And let's go back to Moodle and see how we can use these terms to create a For to demonstrate you how to do, I'm going to use anatomical position term, and I have already entered the definition into the glossary. So underneath this glossary PDF, you will see another link, Glossary for Basic Science Subject. Click on that, and there's a huge note that you must read, unfortunately. First I will show you my entry. So this is the definition for anatomical position that I entered. As you can see who entered the definition and the date as well as time. And see the definition, it's very short. So that's what we expect in a glossary. And underneath the definition, I have given you the link from where I took this definition. Apart from that, I uploaded the image to make it clear. So let's see whether it is clear to you or not. So the definition for anatomical position is the position with the body erect, with the arms at the sides and the palms forward. As you can see, the person is standing erect and the hands are on either side and the palms are facing forward. That describes the anatomical position. So in your entry also you can add an image underneath your definition, but make sure that these images are self-explanatory and not confusing the definition of the scientific terms. And other than that, I have mentioned the link from where I took this definition. The students can click on this link, and if they are interested, they can read more about those definitions. Okay, so here I'm showing from where I took it. You just have to click on the link and it will direct you to the place where you took the definition or where I took the definition. If you want, you can read more by going through that link to the page. And once you created the glossary, what you have to do, just click on the letter and which is ordered in the alphabetical order. Then you can see all the entries, all the scientific terms starting with A or starting with B underneath that. So let's go through the description very carefully. So in this PDF, you have to pick up maximum 9 terms that you prefer. There's no order. You can pick up 9 terms from wherever you want. And suppose you pick up a term that is picked up by another students and it has been, the definition has been already entered into Moodle, then the Moodle will not allow you to enter another definition, because I have set up the settings as in a way that 2 students cannot enter the definition for same scientific term. But what happened actually, initially I want you to assign 9 terms to minimize the confusion, but unfortunately due to the technical difficulties I couldn't get the list of registration numbers. So if you guys have internal arrangement, like if you can decide who is going to do these terms, and like suppose MLS about 001 do 9 terms, 002 do another 9 terms. Like if you can do internal arrangement and categorize these in a way that each student is getting 9 terms, I'm totally fine with that. Go ahead and do that. So then the deadline for this activity is 30th June. So that means you have to pick up 9 terms, scientific terms out of the list and enter the definitions before 30th June. And make sure that you keep the definition short. So you can copy and paste the definition directly from the web page, but make sure that you don't copy everything. For example, if you go to the web page, you will see 4-5 sentences describing the meaning of that scientific terms, but I don't want you to copy that whole part and paste it into the Moodle. Instead, I want you to go to web pages, read and understand what that scientific term, the meaning of that scientific term. For example, you can go to Wikipedia and then go back to the definition and see what is more related and what is more explanatory to another person, and pick that part only and paste into the glossary. And the maximum you can copy and paste is 2 sentences. Don't go beyond that. Make sure that you concise the definition to one or two sentences. For example, you can see I have used only 1 sentence because it's easy for you to go through and understand. And then you have to copy and paste the link underneath and make to show the other students from where you took that definition, so anyone who is interested can click on that link and go to the web page and read more. And if it is possible, I want you to enter an image as well. Sometimes you won't be able to add an image. For example, the definition for in vitro. So that means something you are doing outside the body. So in that case, such as experiments, you won't be able to upload an image. So that's totally fine. So here I'm showing the definition for anatomical position. It's altogether like 3-4 sentences, but I took only 1 out of that to make it clear. If you find a new scientific term which is not listed in my document, feel free to enter those under other category. You will definitely get additional points for that. The next point I want to highlight, maybe you are taking the definition from Oxford Medical Dictionary and typing it. In that case, you better put a note underneath, so you can't put a link there, so just write the source as Oxford Medical Dictionary. But I warn you, Oxford Medical Dictionary is explaining the terms in detail, so you can't type as it is, because I have a dictionary. So whenever you enter something, I'll be going through that. So if I found that you have typed everything in the dictionary as it is into the glossary, I won't accept it. I will ask you to redo it. Okay. Also, anything you enter won't directly appear in the glossary because it will first come to me, and if I accept that definition and your images only, it's going to appear in the glossary. At the end of this activity, you will get a nice glossary which is easily browsable. And these terms are directly related to your lecture note, because if you use another dictionary, it has whole lot of words, but this glossary is having the terms which are more related to your lectures. And I hope you guys know the difference between glossary and the dictionary. In case of glossary, the terms are arranged in alphabetical order, but these words are related to a specific subject. Whereas in the dictionary, it lists down the words of a language and it's giving the meaning. But if you look for the scientific term definition in a normal dictionary, sometimes what is listed there is not making any sense. In this glossary, you can browse the terms by category by clicking on the Browse by Category. So the first category is Introduction to Lectures. I have already feeded these categories into Moodle. Suppose you are having body fluid lecture tomorrow. So what you can do, you can click on Browse by Category, and from the drop down menu you can select body fluids. So all the terms listed under body fluids will appear under this category. That just you have to go through the scientific terms and attend the lectures. Again, I can browse by author. So the deadline for this activity is 30th June. This deadline is applicable for 2018 and 19 batch, and sometimes I might be using same video and resources for new batches. In that case, I will mention the deadline in the. Also, don't wait until the last moment to do this activity, because Once you enter the definitions, it will go through me, and suppose you enter 9 definitions and I reject 2 of them, so the total entries would be 7 out of 9. So in that case, you have to go through the list and find another 2 the scientific terms and make it 9 somehow. So it's better you check your entries by browse by author, so you know how much I accepted and how much I rejected. Similarly, I can see how many students have gone through my activity and how many words entered by each and every student. And if I found someone who hasn't entered anything into this glossary, he or she has to give me excuses, otherwise I'll be eliminating those students from this page. Apart from that, I have set up a scale bar. So it's not appearing here, maybe because I entered it. So if it is entered by another student, you will see a scale ranging from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, where you can score that student for the clarity of the definition and the clarity of the image that describing the definition. So in that case, at the end of this activity, I'll be getting the average or highest mark taken by each and every student, and anyone score highest will be getting a valuable educational gift from me. So make sure that you make your definition more creative and easy to understand, and in a way that other students score your entries high. To be honest with you, actually I don't know whether this scoring this thing going to be happen or not, because this is the first time we are doing it. In that case, I'll be selecting the best entry. So let's see how to enter the scientific terms into the Moodle glossary. Hope you can see the tab there at the new glossary entry. First, I'm going to pick up a term from the PDF. So let's see, I choose the scientific term anterior and I need to enter it to the Moodle glossary. Go back to glossary and click on add new entry. Once you scroll down, you will see empty boxes. First one is concept, where you have to type the scientific term that you choose. Make sure the spellings are correct, because I'm going to evaluate you on that as well. Then the definition. So you can browse the definition in a online medical dictionary, or else you can go to Oxford Medical Dictionary. I'm going to use online version. If you just type the scientific term and definition, it will give you a definition, but I prefer not to use this definition because it's for common definition, like anybody can understand, and sometimes these definitions are not giving you an exact idea about the scientific term. Therefore, I recommend you to use an online medical dictionary. What you can do, you can type anterior definition in online medical dictionary and search for the definitions. The advantage of online medical dictionaries is sometimes it shows you how to pronounce the word as well. Instead of searching this way, you can look for the online medical dictionaries first and search for all the definitions that you choose. Sorry, quick enter. Okay, I'm going to select the second one, the medical dictionary. Click on that. In the search bar, you can type the scientific term. Once you click the search button, you will get the definition. So it says situated at or directed towards the front. So underneath that, you will get a clear definition. So the most clear definition is the anterior is in human anatomy denoting the front surface of the body, often used to indicate the position of one structure relative to another that is situated nearer the front part of the body. For example, anterior means And we use these terms with the anterior surface of the body, like anterior surface of the heart. So that means the front surface of the heart or front surface of the body. So I think this is giving a much clear idea or definition of anterior term. So I'm going to copy it. You can use Ctrl C button and use Ctrl V to paste it into the box. So next thing I should do is giving the link to the students. So what I'm going to do, go to the address bar, click on the address bar, and again you can use Ctrl C keys in your keypad and copy that link and come to glossary, and where you can see the tab something similar to this, and if you keep the cursor it will say link, and just paste the link there and hit the create link button. That will create a link to the source from where you get the definition. So anybody interested can click on this and go to the original page and read more about the definition. And the other thing that I want to do is include an image. So you can go to Google again and type anterior, just type anterior and click on the images. Sorry. So when you search for images, there are thousands of images coming up, and all these are not self-explanatory. So if it is hard for you to find a proper image, what I recommend you, just go and read more about the definition and try to understand. For example, this image is not explaining what it is exactly, like the anterior, but in this one it's much more clear because it gives you the opposite term as well, anterior, that the anterior surface of the body, and the opposite term is posterior, that is posterior surface of the body. So I'm going to select this image. What you have to do, click on the image and save it to your computer. If it is hard for you to find a proper image, go to the resource page and look for the categories, because Google is categorizing the results under different titles. As you can see, I'm going to select anatomy. So I thought of looking for another image. So it's your responsibility to get the best image which self-describe the definition in a way so that is self-explanatory. And in the images also they have categorized it under different categories. So I click on the anatomy images. So let's see the best image that describe the anterior scientific term. Prefer the images that doesn't have too much words, like this, posterior, anterior, or else let's see another one, maybe this one, because it has the definition again which explain the anterior and posterior, which is the opposite term of anterior. So I'm going to select this image because only by looking at the image we can get the idea about the meaning of the term, scientific term. First you have to save this image into your computer and remember the place that you are saving the image. Then go back to Moodle glossary and you will see an icon which shows your photograph. Once you keep the cursor, it will show as image. Click on that. Before that, make sure your cursor is underneath the link or else the place where you want to upload the image, and click on the browse repositories and it will open up a dialog box, and from that click on upload a file and then click on the browse and go to the place where you save the image and select the image, click open, and hit on the upload this file. It will take few seconds, and make sure that you tick the description not necessary box, because sometimes until you tick this box the image won't appear underneath. And scroll down and see whether image is appearing a proper way. For me actually this image is a little bit stretched, so I'm going to adjust the dimension. So when you adjusting the dimensions, make sure the auto size box is ticked off, because when you change one dimension it will automatically change the other one. Type 400 or whatever you need and the size you need, and then click outside, so it will automatically adjust the image size. So it looks fine for me, and you can change the position where the image going to appear, but I prefer to keep that image underneath the definition. Then you have to click the save image button. So this is how it's going to appear in the glossary. First you will see the definition and then link and then the image, nice and clear image. So after that you have to select the category. So if you can't remember which category this term belongs to, go back to the glossary and see from where you take this, or else when you select your scientific terms, write down the category in front of each and every scientific term, so then it's easy for you. For example, I took this anterior term from introduction to lectures category, so in the glossary also I have to select the same category. You can scroll up and down and click on the category. And the next thing that you can do, you can enter some keywords. Keywords are helpful for you to search for the particular term. This is actually optional. If you want, you can skip this step without mentioning any keywords, because I hope you don't have any idea what are the keywords. To demonstrate you, I'm going to type 1 or 2 keywords here. Maybe body surface. So if you are entering keywords, make sure that you don't use comma, and the keyword should appear one under the another, because you can't type the keywords in a same line. Once you type one keyword, hit the enter button and then type the next keyword. So this is incorrect. Hit the enter button and type the next keyword. And keyword should be meaningful and it should be related to your definition. You can pick up 1 or 2 words from the definition and type it here if you want, and if you feel it like confused, so skip this step. You don't have to enter keywords. And if you have nice files to attach which describe more your definition, you can attach it here. So auto link is very important. Make sure that you tick this link or tick this box, because otherwise when you search for the term, the definition won't appear. So it is a must that you tick this box. Once you do everything, you can hit the save changes button. So let's see how it appears in the glossary. Okay, this is the newest entry and it is nice and clear. 2 sentences of definition, and then the link is there. You can click on the link and see whether it is working properly, and the image underneath. The keywords appear here. And suppose you made a mistake and you want to change it or completely delete your entry, you can do that. You can go to settings button if you want to change your entry, or else click this cross to delete your entry. So I'm allowing you to change your entries only until 30th of June, and make sure that you check everything and save your entries before that. And in a Similarly, you have to score the entries of other students as well, and I will be scoring your entries as well. Then at the end of this activity, I'll be taking the total score for each and every student, and the person who got highest score will deserve or receive my educational gift. So I hope you guys enjoy this activity, and I have many more activities that I'm going to planning to do in future using this glossary. So I wish you good luck and see who is getting my gift.